Dakar 2024. I'm Colin,
I'm Clifford.
and we're joined by Stuart Thompson of WCT Racing Engineering. Stuart, thank you. You started with us. It's now the end.
Yeah, Colin, it's been quite a two-week run. It's been fantastic. You know, it's been a very challenging event,
Yeah.
and it's great to be here.
Thank you for joining us. We've got some issues with catering we want to talk to you about to get an independent view of it. But remember, if you've got any questions or comments or queries or things, let us know on the socials, and Little Hank will get it to us.
I have a technical question for you,
Yes.
and I'll throw it out to both of you. What are your thoughts on a jump start? Because we have 3 jump starters in the comment section already.
What it means to me is that people are really keen to hear us opine upon the race.
Either that or to hear your apologies, but yeah, I'd say the phrase for tonight is as keen as mustard, because yeah, I've got mustard on my shirt and these guys are keen.
I don't have an apology for you tonight. I'm terribly sorry about that. I'll do better to offend as many people as I can tonight. And we don't have a show tomorrow, but join us. We've got some good plans for Raceday going forward, with some bi-weekly stuff and bikes and cars and exciting stuff, and the launch of some new stuff, but we'll get to that. Now let's get the results out of the way.
Okay,
I'm going first.
Okay, fair enough. I have a comment first though.
Yeah.
You're so used to apologizing that you apologized
For not
having
apologizing.
So, moving on.
King Carlos, 61 years old, wins it again. We spoke earlier about Audi needing to win it. They really, really do before they go away into Formula One. They did it. Guillaume de Mevius in his first go in an ultimate car with Xavier Panseri. Second, 1 hour 20 behind. Not a huge gap in terms of Dakar, but that's the way it is. And Sebi Loeb and Fabian Lerkin in the Bahrain Fragile Extreme car were third. Guillaume Chicheret, Alex Winnock, Martin Prokop, Victor Chitka in a Ford, in a Raptor, not a South African Raptor. And then 6th overall, winner of the rookie, Guy Botterill, Guy David Botterill, and Brett Cummings. I think that was an outstanding result, Stuart.
Absolutely, Colin. I think it's probably one of the best debuts in Dakar history, I would think, without having researched it, but fantastic. And I guess it does a few things. It shows, A, how good Brett is to be able to shepherd Guy to a result like that. B, how good Guy is.
And C,
how good the car is.
Yeah.
And perhaps D, how good our local championship is to allow a guy like Guy
as a rookie
to come through the South African Championship and be pretty much bang on the pace in Dakar, which is it's an absolutely phenomenal result.
It's a huge. We're hoping to talk to Brett a little bit later. Let's see how we go.
Can you guys hear me?
7th was Janelle de Villiers, Dennis Murphy, 16th, and I'm just jumping ahead because it doesn't matter. 15th was Leia Sands. I mean,
It matters
actually,
to those who competed. Colin.
Yeah, I know, but they're not Southern Africans. Leia Sands in the Century. 16th is Saud Varioa, but I missed out. In 10th place overall, Matthew Saradori and Luc Menadia in the Century, a car that they'd written off as a 2-wheel drive. It's never going to shape. He was up in 5th, and then he had the poo hit the fan. But I think it's testimony another South African car. If we look, we've got 70% of the top 10 are designed and built in South Africa, Stuart.
Yeah, Colin. I mean, it's phenomenal, and I think what that particular result brings home is that 2-wheel drive is not dead.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier pre-show about what is the best customer car. You know, and obviously the Gazoo South African built Hilux is head and shoulders above the rest, not only as a customer car, but perhaps as a race-winning potentially car. But, you know, the Century CR6 is not far behind. And I think if you had to do a bang for buck exercise,
Best bang for buck in the world.
without question.
But your man.
Enough about
Your
cars.
man.
Enough about cars, because we know a guy. We know a guy. Peter, can you show us the guy we know?
The guy we know, our
guy
hero,
we know.
our man.
Ross? Manya, still smiling? But I mean,
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Probably a very emotional 2 days, eh?
It's been a crazy couple of days, but over the moon tonight, and just happy to have got to that finish line. That's for sure.
You know, Rossi, you've had a couple of rough Dakars, and I know you really, really, really wanted to win this one, and it was close. But you're on the podium. That's a monkey off the back. Now we can come back next year and have a full-on go and win it.
Definitely. It's been a long 6 years trying to reach the goal, and the goal was to get on the podium, and we finally did that. And yes, it was probably one of the toughest Dakars I've done. So to get on the podium was really cool. And definitely. I know that everything I'm doing at the moment is the right thing, and we're going in the right direction. So, yeah, definitely I've got 11 months and a couple of days to sort out the things that I was missing and come back stronger next year.
That's always the case, eh? We look at the next one. But if we can ask, take us through, because, I mean, it was like down to under a second and it was close. And, I mean, Ricky obviously had a very strong Dakar and he was consistent everywhere, but I mean, when it got to about 7 minutes, did the game plan change? Did you look to attack in the last two stages, or did you just sort of feel the conditions and say, "I'll take the podium"?
Not really. I wanted to win from day one, and that was my goal from years ago. So we've been working towards it. We've been developing the bike. Everything was perfect. The time that the strategy had to change slightly was when I lost all my teammates. Obviously, it makes a big difference going into the final couple of days with no teammates. And from Raceday, I've been the solo one here, so it was tough, and obviously a lot of pressure on the whole team, not just myself, because obviously we've got to make sure we get to the finish line, and obviously we're also chasing a good result. So, Ricky flat out outrode me this Dakar. He was better on the 2 days that I was bad, and he made his charge at the right time and did everything perfectly. He didn't put a foot wrong, and I made a couple of mistakes which I've got to work on. So he was on top of it and beat me fair and square. I got my ass kicked by him, but that's racing, and I've learned from it. I know what I need to do, and like I say, looking forward to the rest of 2024. It's been an amazing start for myself and for the Euro team. Everybody's pretty happy.
That respect.
Sorry?
Ross, that respect that the respect that you've got between the two of you and that camaraderie it's absolutely vital for the spirit, and it feeds the soul in the racing.
Sure, we all really good mates out here, and everybody is as mates on and off the track. Obviously, we race each other as hard as we possibly can, and everybody wants to win. But I think everybody here is really close, and he was just better than me this time, and I know what to do to fix it. So we've just got to make sure that we fix those errors and fix that up and come back stronger. But we're in one piece, and got a 3-week break before we go to Abu Dhabi. So, it's been an exciting Dakar and incredible support from back home. It's been really incredible.
Yeah, well, I mean, we know, and it's already been posted all over the Hero pages, that you've made history as the first Indian manufacturer to be on the podium at Dakar. If you look back now, you said there's a few areas that you need to fix, and you know what the areas are. But is there a moment in this Dakar race where you can actually pinpoint and say, that's where I might have just lost that win?
Definitely. There's 2 days that I lost out, and it was. I need to work on some self-confidence in the navigation side of things when I'm opening the stages, because those guys are a little bit better than me, even if it's the 1 or 2%. They better than me at opening and opening at a good pace. and then I just need to work in some camel grass. Since I started Dakar, I've been crashing most stages in the camel grass, so I think it's a little bit of a mental block, and I need a bit of a cup of cement to get over it. But it's I think that's what I need to do to fix it. But we know where our weak points are, and I'm so happy and so excited to be here, and those small issues we can fix quickly.
Now, you're about to go up on the podium, and that's quite a thing when you get onto that massive stage and they announce second place Ross frickin' Branch from Botswana. Your countrymen have got to be super, super proud that you've done what you've done.
I really hope so. I think as we've all witnessed, sport definitely brings a country together, and I think not only Botswana but the whole of Southern Africa has really backed me like you cannot believe. Even if I wasn't winning or if I wasn't on the podium, everybody's backed me to the bitter end and through the bad times and the good times, and I'm so grateful to have the support that I do. And I'm really, really in a good position to have so much support from back home. And like I say, the whole of Southern Africa has been behind me. And this afternoon when I got home, I had 703 messages on my phone when I crossed the line. So it was a really, really cool thing.
So take us through now, because I can see like you seem a little bit more relieved. How's the body feeling, and what's in store for you now for the next 24 hours after such a massive race?
Yeah, it's still sinking in a little bit. The last person on the podium from Africa was Alfie, so it's still sinking in, and it's a super proud feeling for me, and I'm really, really happy. So I think the excitement and the adrenaline is still in my body, and I had to open this morning and lead out the stage, which I was a bit worried about. But I did it well, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really had a good time. So I think it's going to take a little while before the aches and pains start kicking in. And then tomorrow I fly off to India. I've got to go to India to head office to meet all the big bosses and, just show my appreciation that they give to the sport and to us. And the help that they've given us is incredible. And the opportunity they've given me is obviously once in a lifetime. So I'll go there for a few days and then head on to South Africa and Botswana and finally get home.
Awesome, man. We won't keep you too much longer. Obviously, we want you to go out and enjoy the moment. I know Colin's got something he wants to say, but my last question to you, and it's a little bit out there, but I'm going to throw it out to you anyway. But can you describe Ricky Brabeck's hair in 3 words?
Maybe not 3 words, but I don't know. It's pretty crazy, eh? And I don't know. I've been following him, and it looks wild. I've been right behind him, and you see it all flapping out the back, and it's pretty wild. So impressive would come to mind first, I guess.
We'll take it.
Ross, are we going to see you race in South Africa this year?
Definitely. I really miss racing at home and miss the South African National Series, and obviously all my friends are there, and it's still like my second family. So I really hope I can do some, as long as it doesn't clash. But this year we've got a really long break, 4.5 months of no rallies. So I really hope I can get over there and definitely do some motocross. I'm loving my motocross again. So yeah, you will definitely be seeing me a lot more in SA this year and back on the bike for sure.
That'll be fantastic. And then a little bit of a sideways question. Tomorrow night or Sunday morning, Drickus is fighting Sean Strickland. I know you've been busy for the last 2 weeks, but it's a big thing. You've got to be backing Stillknox to win that thing.
For sure, and obviously it's the talk of everybody at the moment, and everybody's super excited, and I will be in India, so the time difference is a little bit easier for us. But I'm definitely gonna be watching it, and it's gonna be awesome, and looking forward to yet another African athlete doing so well at what they do. It's really incredible what our sportsmen have achieved, and just a really cool thing is I got a message from Quagga Smith on Instagram just saying good luck and everything. So it really is really cool that all the athletes are looking out for one of each other, and trying to give each other as much inspiration as we possibly can, and it just means the world. So yeah, we're in a really good place, and to go up on the podium tonight is it's going to be insane, and it really is a dream come true.
Rossi, enjoy every moment of it. And just as a parting shot, every stage we've rated our rider of the race. And Ross Branch, you have our Raceday's rider of our race. Thank you very much for the entertainment you've given us, the nipping straws, watching the map and seeing where's the time going, and that's the tension, the joy, the pleasure, the happiness. Ross, you're the boss.
Thank you, guys, and I can't thank you enough for all the support, and obviously for keeping everybody informed back home. I really, really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart, and to everybody watching, thank you for all the support. It's an emotional one for me, and I'm really super grateful to each and every one of you that have supported me in my journey. And I hope I make everyone proud, and I hope continue to do so. And obviously, next year we hope to climb one step higher on the podium.
Go live the moment, Ross. Thank you very much for taking time out on podium night. Super. Thank you, Ross Branch. You're a hero.
Goosebumps,
thank you, guys.
Thank
you so much.
Yeah.
And the smile, the laugh, the enthusiasm. There's a man at the top of his craft, enjoying every moment. What a pleasure.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic, Colin. And the smallest sniff away from being on the top step. Yeah. And certainly I, for one, believe that he'll get there.
No, without a doubt.
It's absolutely
it's
incredible.
Not if, it's when.
Yeah.
Yeah. So wow. I need to breathe a bit.
Should I run through the results anyway?
Yeah, please do.
Because we have sort of skipped over the bike results, but I mean we all know the results. We've been watching it closely. If you weren't watching it, where have you been? But Ricky Brabeck, with his incredible hair, as Ross Branch sort of reiterated my sentiments there. He took the overall Dakar win after 12 hardcore stages. Consistency was his strategy, and it worked for him.
He did the job, eh?
Yeah. Ross gave it his all, and there were a lot of awesome moments. But like he said, two days where he maybe wasn't as good as Ricky, but he said that Ricky outrode him completely. I don't agree with that.
But
just 2 days.
Just think of in his mind the respect he's got for a competitor. He understood, and he knows he's got to go and do some work, and he's going to go and do it and come back stronger and better.
That's it, and that's the difference between those guys that get to the top level and other guys that sort of dwindle at club level and just can't make a crack of it. Is that mindset, that change, So I mean, second place, we're all incredibly proud. It's not a win, but I mean, let's take it for what it is. It's a fantastic second place. He won stages. He took the prologue.
He's on the podium.
He was there every stage, and he finished. So and he finished well. So congratulations to Ross Branch for a strong second place.
Now, what about the rest of the Southern Africans?
So we've got Van Beveren and Benavides and Toby Price and Nacho Florimo and Luciano Benavides and Svitko and Michek, and that's your top 10 just to run through it. Because we don't really care that much.
No, we don't.
But
all we want to know is where's Ross Branch and where the rest of our guys.
So
where's Mr. Cox?
Let's get to the proper stuff here. Bradley Cox, 13th overall, and third place Rally 2. So top 3. And then we've got Sharon Moore, 21st, with a 9th place finish Rally 2. So top 10. Ash Thixton, 32nd.
Great result for you.
And then 20th in Rally 2 and 4th in the rookies. So proper result. Ronald Fenter 61st and 45th in the Rally 2. Stuart Gregory 62nd and 46th in Rally 2 with 9th in the Mali Motul.
Awesome.
So,
now enough of your bikes. We're going back to cars.
Let's go to cars.
Because cars is what it's all about. And we have winners of the rookie of Dakar 2024, 6th place overall, Guy David Botterill and Brett Cummings. Thank you so much for taking some time out on a night that I know is the podium beckons. What a race you two have had.
How's it, Colin? Thanks.
Thanks, Colin. Thank you so much. Yeah, awesome result. Really chuffed with how it turned out. We've just had dinner. It's in 2 weeks. It's quite nice to get a whole room with a big functioning shower.
And a toilet you can actually sit on and do it justice.
Yes.
What are the emotions going through your heads at the moment? I mean, to come in as Guy, you're a rookie driver. Brett, you've done this before, both on bikes and in cars, and you've guided and coached and worked with Guy. You've bonded as a team, and Guy, you come in as second in the South African National Championship, a top 10, and then 6th overall. What's going through your guys' minds at the moment?
Yeah, it was something quite. I went to Dakar to finish. That's my objective at the end and finish. And then I thought to myself, top 15 would be quite something special, especially when you have a look at the names of people that we're racing against. I put all the names, and I got to 20 serious guys that like any of them could have won. So I even thought maybe a top 20 would be something really good, especially with experience. When the rally started, we found our feet, carried on pushing, and found ourselves on stage one. We were in second, the shock broke, and I think we ended up 7th or 8th one, and just realizing that it is possible. The South African really quick in the terrain that we know. Any possible and get to the end like we managed to get a top 6 was very, very special. And Brett said to me the last kilometer, he said, enjoy your last kilometer. And it was quite strange. The whole I haven't felt nervous, I haven't felt emotional, I felt anything. And when he said to me, enjoy your last, it was something. And it was quite emotional at the end. Cool to have these people who work so hard day and night to get the car to get to where I am, to have all the people back that have worked so hard to get where I am is very special.
The one thing that sticks out in Dakar is that it's an absolute massive team effort. Team in the car, driver, co-driver, then also team in terms of your teammates. You stopping to give away a potential top 10 or potentially give away a top 10 finish to donate your shock to Marius, who was much better placed with you. Then bring the car back, and you've got a swarm of mechanicians fixing what you've... Now, they gave you a totally good car in the morning, and you bring it back in not such a good condition. It's a huge team effort, isn't it?
Yeah. Colin, I don't think anybody really understands the amount of time and effort that to bring these cars every day. They get stripped down completely. These tirelessly night, they go to bed 2-3 o'clock in the morning. Some of them having to drive campers or vehicles or trucks. They of rest and go along. They do the same thing. They have to put up with repairing the car every day and making sure that it's in top shape every day for us to be able to perform.
Brett, how did you find the navigation and the all on tablet at the moment? Did that the second year that it's been in place, is it you totally comfortable with it? And what were the biggest glitches or the biggest challenges that you had in the navigation this year?
I think I've actually been running with it now with his Colin, but there was only one that we had in the beginning. I think our primary tablet software, so that's a few issues. So you guys might have seen some penalties coming, but they were verified not penalties, and they eventually came and changed the tablet. So once that was sorted, the hard software works really well, and it's evolved over the years. And once you learn it, it's actually pretty easy. I must say it's so convenient not to have model. I mean, I'm used to the days where you had to you got your road book in a scroll in a book when you were in the car, and then there was the pack full of modifications that you need to do after the pre-runners had been to the routes, and you had to put those modifications in book either by cutting them out with a pair of scissors and using some sellotape to add it in, or redrawing the pictures yourself. Yeah, it's obviously come a long way, and it works well.
So what's next for you tonight? You sitting at 20:50 o'clock at your time. You going to the podium, and then what? Is there going to be a substantial party with some cool drinks?
We were just saying it. How lucky it would be. Everybody at home. It's Friday night, and I'm sure they've got a bang and hold in the hand that's actually going to quench it. So it would be nice to be home.
No, I think everyone is exhausted. It was a good thing for us to finish as well as we did, and guys are finally enough and had it earlier, and now I think everyone's crashing really hard. So it's been a long, hard 2 weeks.
So, in our world, the Raceday world, we choose a crew, a driver, a rider of the race, and then we have a hero. So, from the Raceday family, from us to you, Brett Cummings and Guy David Botterill, we salute you with our driver, our crew of the race. Congratulations. I think it is absolutely immaculate what you've done. Go and find a beer and drink it, neck it, enjoy it, and congratulations. We'll enjoy seeing you back in South Africa. Well done, guys.
Thanks a million.
Thank you, Colin, and thank you for all the support and coverage you guys are giving us. Thank you so much.
And we got to thank you for giving us your time. It's hell. You've been at the end of Dakar, what it's like on podium night. It's a melee of note. And the guys take time to talk to us. It's quite fantastic.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely fantastic. And I dare say it's probably the last thing they feel like.
Yeah.
But absolute, they are
Professionals.
Consummate pros, and what a job they've done. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. It not without surprise. We saw last year Guy doing some really good work, carrying some good speed, building a lot of experience, and with a steely determination to deliver the results, like properly. And so, you kind of think, okay, top 15 when he goes there, yeah, but he's a rookie, got some stuff to learn. But then he delivers a 6th place.
Yeah, it's incredible, Colin. And, I was trying to remember today where the last sort of high-placed rookie was, and I think the last rookie within the top 10 was Conrad Rautenbach.
Yeah.
And obviously Guy and Conrad are rookies only by name. It's like the Indy 500 where Nigel Mansell, as the reigning world champion, is the rookie.
Yeah.
But that said, I think it's really important for him what he's done. He's certainly staked his claim as an absolute top-flight professional racing driver. And I think it's something he's been working towards for a long time. I mean, all of the South African Rally Championships, and, when he was given the opportunity to get into the Gazoo cross-country car, he's taken it with both hands and
delivered.
And you can't fault him. He hasn't made a single misstep.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
So we mentioned the hero of the cars. While we're on cars, sorry, bikes.
One day.
Deal with it. Remember, if you've got any questions, queries, comments, and or
Don't encourage
things,
them, Colin. We've got plenty.
send your messages. We'll look at them. So our Dakar hero in the cars in 16th place in car 226. 18-year-old Saud Variawa and Francois Cazalet. In the lead up to Dakar, he had a number of incidences with the earth striking his car rather hard, but he delivered. 16th. He showed 5th on third last stage. He's got speed. He's 18. His time will come.
Indeed. His time will come, and he's done a whole lot better than he could have.
Yeah.
So I think another really, really standout performance. I think that he's driven with maturity beyond his years, and what an absolutely workmanlike performance. It's and with minimal drama, he's done a fantastic job.
And he had a very, very bad shoulder injury. I think it was on Wednesday. Recovered from that to finish 5th in the next stage. Not to forget the other South African, Gareth Woolridge, in 46th position. A litany of problems he did indeed have. That's the results.
Sure.
But hold on, before we go, while we're talking about four wheels, because you know that we've got a varied audience that are full of things. In the Challenger class, what used to be known as the T3, side-by-sides, we have to have a huge shout-out to Christina Gutierrez and Pablo Huete, who win it's the first time a female has won a class in Dakar.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Apart from bikes. I mean in cars.
Yeah.
Because
No,
cars
fair.
count, bikes don't.
We've had a good 2 weeks. Why are we going down this road?
I think what's important there as well, Colin, is the FIA, who are much maligned, and I think quite often unfairly, certainly seem to have got the ladder of progression right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think any team manager looking for the stars of the future, you need to look at T3 or the Challenger class or
Guillaume de Mevius,
Oh,
Seth
indeed.
Cantero.
Exactly, yeah, and no doubt a litany of others. But they certainly seem to have got that right. The Challenger cars are, they are fast, they're demanding, and they teach the crews all the skills that they need to move up to the big cars. And I think it's probably also worth a mention, if only in passing, to the Polish youngster Eric Goskol, who was excluded. And I don't know the details. I mean, obviously there are always two sides to the story, but in the true sense of the word, his performance was absolutely precocious.
He was up there, I think 14th overall was his
I
quickest.
think when he was excluded, he was lying 10th overall. I'm open to correction. And in the chrono stage, he was 5th overall.
Yeah.
So quite remarkable, and it's performances like this that that give the Dakar absolutely sound footing moving forward. It's
a
incredible.
great race, isn't it, Stuart?
Yeah, it is.
And then we have to, for those who, we never once mentioned the trucks, because there were so many things to talk about, but Martin Maciek, and there's lots of names that I'm not going to embarrass myself pronouncing.
Give it a go, man. It's the last night. Give it a go.
Fantastic Tomasek
That was pretty good.
and David Swander.
Nice.
And they were in Avika, and they won by 1 hour 54 minutes from some other Czechoslovakian. So certainly the trucks don't go down that road, Clifford.
It's okay.
It's absolutely closed. And before we move on to
But,
some...
Colin, if I may interject.
You may, Stuart.
The problem,
Anytime you want.
The problem with the trucks is cameras aren't there. And, it's a sad, I guess, a sad reflection of the state of our world. But cameras, every Dakar I've been to, are in amongst, if not the best team in the Dakar.
And
So the truck race without cameras,
it's not a race.
well, no, you still have to win.
Yeah.
And, you only have to beat who's there. But it's so sad that cameras aren't there. And it's they are an absolutely world-class team. And I think the Dakar is the poorer for them not being there.
Stuart, when you go back to your first Dakar, when you saw the trucks and you stand next to them and they are huge, they have a presence, and when they start, the sound, did it not send chills down your spine?
No, the trucks certainly do. They, until you've seen them, you actually cannot grasp how fast they are, and they are proper racing cars. The level of engineering prowess and commitment that's required to get them to do what they do is incredible. And again, I think it's important not to take away from the guys who've won, and it's traditionally a Czech, Eastern European, and Dutch, stronghold. But again, without Kamaz, it just takes the shine off it. And let's hope that the world comes to its senses and they're back sooner rather than later.
Shall we, while we're on four wheels, and I've lost my ears because apparently I didn't check my batteries, in the classics, car 40 in 41st position, 724, Paulo Oliveira and Archela Cuota from Mozambique, because they're part of South African. In 48th place, the 742 in the Land Cruiser was Catherine and Stefan Lovemore, and in 50th place, 708, my favorite car, the Martini Porsche of Puck and Sebastian Klaassen.
And Sebastian, of course, was a regular and enthusiastic competitor in the South African Rally Championship.
Absolutely.
He had a M Sport Fiesta, and
he did reasonably.
He was certainly competent, and good to see that he's still competing.
And he's got a wine farm in Stellenbosch.
Well, Colin, I mean,
yeah,
your
thanks for
daughter you've installed her at Stellenbosch, I believe.
About to.
And I think we should go and visit the Klaassens. And he has a four-wheel drive Lamborghini.
Yeah.
With the off-road version. Only one in South Africa. I would love to go and see that car. And then in 53rd position, Adrian and Rian Botmas, car 753, also in the Land Cruiser. They went on they were going to go and do an overland trip through Africa. And then
ended up at Dakar.
Why not go and do Dakar? I think it's absolutely fantastic. Okay, enough of cars. Would you like to go to some bikes?
Let's interact with our audience, because you guys have been rambling on here, and the list is long, very long. So let's see what we got here. Just to start off, Andrew Spark, hello, how's it? At least I won the last stage. Absolutely. Like, you have to come good on the last stage. That's when it counts. So good work, Andrew, because he was the front runner the whole way through coming.
Andrew Spark.
Yeah, he just had a couple
of. You got in first.
You got in first tonight.
That's awesome.
Well done, Andrew. Don't let us down. Jan Grobler, Rossi looks as energetic as the day he started the Dakar.
He's an Energizer bunny.
Yeah,
love it.
But he does. He looks fresh. Penny de Souza, brilliant Dakar 2024. Ross, you biscuit. Johan Grobler, jump start. He was in second. Cass Kruger, seems I'm late to the party. You were third, so still a medal for you. Cass is a late bloomer from Andrew Spark. And then we've got a couple guys greeting us in Afrikaans. Johan Piems,
come on, do it.
Johan Grobler, good evening, Stuart. Hey, you got a fan. Yuri Adan, good evening. Johan Etzbeth, Nantes. These folks are testing me. Patches, good to see Stuart. Mario de Souza, hello gents. Johan Etzebeth, what a Dakar. You guys did an excellent job keeping us informed. Thanks. Yeah, I can't wait to read Colin's novel that he wrote during the whole Dakar. Because how many pages were you on when we finished now? About 900
a lot.
Something. Sure.
All of them.
Yeah. Bonneville Brew, the main reasons I love Dakar, and I've followed Dakar for many years. Two ladies have been there every year. One lady is a little honey who generally always hangs out with the top Dakar finishers. This year she was not with Nasser or Seb. Could Lady Luck have been riding with Brad or Ross or any other South Africans? The other big fat lady, and every year she sings at the end of Dakar. Well done to all who finished Dakar. So yeah, proper summary there in different analogies, etc. But yeah, I think
there were some very interesting analogies there. I think my filters came down.
I think there were a few people that had good and bad luck, but the fact that everyone finished, I think luck has a role to play, but I think skill, fitness, preparation is the game changer.
And Cliff, I think it's probably worth mentioning that young Bradley Cox What a performance
What
from him as well.
Fantastic.
You know, I mean,
Fantastic.
It's I think he's always to me been just sort of knocking on the door and a bit more sort of crash than finishing.
Yeah.
And I think this is a big race in his career.
Yeah,
That
massive.
he's brought it to the finish. He's been absolutely
Quick. Yeah.
all through every stage, and I think for me it's probably, it could be a bit of a tipping point for Brad.
Yeah,
You know,
I
whereas
think so.
he staked his claim to be a serious
Next year,
contender.
MotoGP.
Well,
I mean, what do they call it? Rally
GP, Rally GP.
yeah, but it's great for him, you know, and he's despite his name and his, you know, where, you know, growing up with Alfie and you know,
But he's
it's great.
delivered in his own right.
Yeah.
He's delivered in his own right, and he's really, to me, again, staked his claim as one of the top pros.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah, he had a, I mean, first week, and I mean, the bits and pieces I saw with Alfie and that, he was like, just bring it home. Because there were a few comments of full gas and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
And Alfie was like, no, it's one day at a time. But yeah, he's had a phenomenal second week, but I think he's learnt a lot about Dakar.
Yeah.
And that will only, like you said, this is a tipping point. And I'm going to throw that back to our audience, because we've had here our heroes of the week and riders of the week, and we've all decided on that. But I'm on the fence personally about who is my rider of Dakar, because everyone had such a mega performance.
Have you got a hero of Dakar?
I'm going to give it to, and when we say hero, we
This
base
is the
it
Raceday hero.
on like as hardcore, getting up, carrying on. It again, I'm undecided. Thixton and Stuart Gregory for me were the most hardcore heroes out there. So if you guys want to put your votes in there and help me decide, and then for overall race, obviously Ross, but like you say, you can't discount Bradley Cox for what he's done.
Yeah.
Sharon Moore, Thixton for fourth in the rookies. You know, if you look at Stuart Gregory, 9th Malimoto, unassisted. So
And he finished.
and
he
everyone-
was solid.
everyone
and he
that-
got out of the 70s.
yeah, and everyone that got through the rest day finished. So
Yeah.
I'm throwing it out to everyone that's watched. Who was your hero? And when we say hero, in terms of hardcore, going through it, persevering, and getting to the finish, and then who was your fast rider that surprised you, inspired you, whatever the case is? Throw your votes in there for me, because I'm quite undecided. I don't know where to go, to be honest with you. And that's soft, but it is what it is, you know?
Stuart, what was your highlight of this race?
I think you have to say Carlos winning in the Audi.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fantastic. You know, he's obviously much closer to the end of his career than he is to the start of it. For Audi to have pulled it together, albeit with a full factory, money no object, alternative technology, it's fantastic. It's all that's good about Dakar. For a guy like
and
Carlos,
it's a beautiful car.
it's a fantastic car. I mean, it embraces all that's good about racing cars.
Yeah.
And I think it's fantastic
Except
that he.
electric.
Well, Colin, you know, he brought it home, and it's
Yeah.
great. I mean, and a few other things. You know, the guy who, funnily enough, flies under the radar is Janil. And again, I mean, the guy he's a national treasure.
Yeah.
You know, every time he absolutely brings home the goods. He's you know, he had again this year, as he has for the last few, a few little mishaps
Yeah.
that just bumped. I mean, he was just sniffing at the podium, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah.
And then they had that unfortunate penalty, which just dropped him back into the sort of lower end of the top 10.
So
But he's fantastic. Him and
Yeah.
Dennis, they what a team. And you know, if you want to write someone's name into the top 10,
Janelle de Villiers.
absolutely.
So we had this discussion earlier on, and we've got a picture of the king and the prince. Peter, if you can stick that up there, and
So I'm looking,
know,
and I only see myself and you. And
look at
Stuart.
that.
Yeah.
The king and the prince. Which
Yeah.
is which? The Carlos, 61 years old. He's won it again. And I wrote a novel here on discussion points and all the rest of it, and the teamwork that Audi put together, the bad luck that seems to almost hound Janil. But if you're a team manager, you enter a 3-car team, and I want to get to this a little bit later about a dream team. You got to look at it and say, our objective is in first year of Dakar is to finish in the top 10. The first name you put down there is Janelle de Villiers.
I wouldn't argue that point.
I got really upset earlier on in the race when a lot of our viewers, and you know who you are, were dissing Janelle. And, you know, it's not right. The guy is a national treasure. Thank you, Stuart, for...
Yeah, you say that, and I get that. And when you said he flies under the radar, and I'll say maybe not, because people were getting a little upset. But he's got a fan club, and it's like, you know, you get some fan clubs that they want to see him win and do the best, and I feel like they're with him. And when he doesn't deliver, frustration and disappointed because they want it for him. So
it's like Lewis Hamilton fans. When he doesn't win, then they
quiet. You don't know who they are.
But so the story around Dakar: Loeb wins 5 stages. Saints doesn't win a stage. Saints wins. Loeb doesn't.
Well,
car, team, strategy. I think Audi had an unbelievable team, which was that stage where Ekstrom and Peter Hansel donated their tyres to him, and Ekstrom was left stranded with no wheels.
Sure.
And off he went.
But
that's
Colin, and then you're quite right, and that brings us back to Sebastian Loeb. And he must be wondering. Well, Sebastian Loeb must be wondering what he has to do to win this event.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's been on the podium 7 times or something.
6 times second.
Yeah. And you know, he's one of the giants of modern motorsport.
You look at
he's
9 times
incredible.
World Rally champion. He's driven Le Mans. He's succeeded at everything he's done. Won at everything he's done except Dakar.
But the lesson is, and it goes back to what you were saying to Guy and Brett, it's a team sport.
Yeah.
And you're not going to win it as a lone ranger.
You know, when NASA pulled out, NASA could have been his teammate, but NASA is not employed by ProDrive.
I'm so excited we're bringing this up.
NASA bought his drive as a stopgap before going to Dacia, whatever you want to call it, Renoir.
Dodge.
That's not right. And NASA is... When he was at Toyota, he was a proper teammate to everybody. Well, I don't know what's changed.
Well, I remember in Argentina, he was out in the 4th stage and off he went. He went home. So maybe Nasser's a good teammate as long as he's number 1 in the team.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I mean, he brings the performance to the table, but, you know, he's there for one reason, and that's to win. He's not there to play second fiddle.
Is that a wingman?
So let's talk about
contract.
The superstars of racing. You've dealt with a number of really top racing drivers. They're not completely balanced in terms of being a complete socialized human being. I'll say this with absolute respect. In a lot of ways, they're selfish, consumed, and absolutely focused and driven.
Colin, these are our people. These are the people we want to
I'm
interview.
talking about top racing drivers. No, they'll all. Some of them will. I've had this discussion.
I mean, these are our people. We need to interview these people.
And
I'm
these
just saying. I mean, come on, man.
You can choose to be silent.
No, I agree with you. They are, and it's probably part of the makeup.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think Roger Penske 30 years ago said, "You show me a good loser, and I'll show you a regular loser."
Yeah.
You know, so that sums it up.
Yeah.
And you know, the guys aren't there to come second. It must be causing Sebastian Loeb untold internal strife that he's been to the Dakar so often and can't win it.
But you know, do you think it's just not written in the stars for him? Because you get those guys that are like the best to never be. Like, to give you an idea, like Danny Pedrosa for me was one of the most talented MotoGP riders for like a decade, and always came second, and always like started off as a main rider and ended up being the number 2 rider. But for me, he's the best to never be a world champion. And I think like sometimes it's just not written in the stars for you.
For sure,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
But it takes a whole lot. You know, we look at how Schumacher went to Ferrari and garnered a team of around him and won.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's impossible. but
Lauda, Prost,
some people it just never works
Senna.
out for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very rough.
So, is the Hunter in its current iteration, Stuart? And I know I'm putting you on the spot. And, you know, I think I've been vocal enough about it. Is it a good enough car to win the Dakar, or should they come to South Africa and learn some stuff from you guys who build strong cars?
Colin, I think it's difficult to say. I mean, it's a thing of exquisite beauty.
Yes.
It's a lovely
As
car.
all English racing cars
Indeed, it's a beautifully made car, and it appears to be fast enough. I mean, 5-stage wins, and you know, it's hard to. Who knows? Who knows? I guess you don't
But
know.
it breaks.
Yeah. So ProDrive, no. NASA has obviously expressed his opinion fairly discreetly. But who knows? All the failures could have been, the Gazoo Toyotas also suffered failures. The Audis also suffered failures.
Yeah.
So you can't build an unbreakable racing car in an event like the Dakar. If it's good enough to win, I suppose all you can say is it hasn't won.
Yeah.
And
So, what are the people saying?
So many things, Colin. Well done to Janelle for his excellent new record, becoming the first competitor in Dakar history to complete 21 consecutive stages from Cas Kruger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's an
The
achievement.
guy's a phenomenon.
And then we got, do the Audi crews wear earth to ground devices? Just asking for a friend from Johan Krobler.
NFI.
Well said, Stuart. You hit the nail on the head. You've said many things well, so we'll just give you kudos for the whole thing. Mohammed Shardri, well done, Toyota South Africa. Love that car, well built. Mario de Souza, how nervous must King Carlos' team have been when Peter Hansel's engine cucked during today's stage? How nervous?
What did the engine do?
Cucked during today's stage. Well done to all South African guys and vehicle manufacturers that finished the Dakar. Thank you, Racer TV, for a brilliant show. Thank you for watching, Jan. Mario de Souza, nice haircut, Stu. Check out we both look just to check. Andrew Marcia, how's it, everyone? Awesome results. Well done to all the locals. Absolutely. Yuri Adan, congratulations, Ross, and all the South African participants. Cas Kruger, well done to Ross. Excellent. Johan Pins, guys, the future for Gazoo Racing. He wants to win it, and do Henk Lattergang hope we will see them back at Dakar. I'm trying to read, Peter. Then, yeah, just moving on. We're going to have to skip a few here. So see if there's any questions coming through. Colin, what have you got in the pipeline there while I just skip through here?
Well, Jeannie Habig,
Uh-huh.
she might be just a touch biased. Little experience of the team to come together and click at Dakar. So, talking about Brett and Guy, I think it's absolutely. Jeannie, I share your sentiments to come together that late after Henk's injury and gel and bring the results. You don't have to have complete happiness in the car, but as long as a driver, co-driver, you deliver the goods.
I think, Colin, I said earlier that they proved that they're both consummate professionals, and they brought home the result. I would imagine that there's lots of happiness in the Habig household.
Let's sum up. I mean, we can ramble on for days, but we've got three important things to get.
There's a good question from Peter Anker. Colin, love the T-shirt. Where can we buy it? How's that for a plug? You're
Peter
welcome.
Anker, thank you very much for getting to that. You've just preempted one of our issues. First of all, if you have to work out what it is, you probably are. But we will have.
Yeah, Colin. Just because there's no apologies doesn't mean you won't get a knuckle sandwich in the street, eh? I'm just saying.
I'm still waiting. We'll have a segment on that. The Raceday has opened a store on Steel Monkey, and the guys from Steel Monkey, Sean Killian, in fact, has been absolutely fantastic in working with us to develop a range of merchandise, which we'll show the link a little bit later. And we have a special going on it on our shirt. So the link will be in the description, but we'll talk about it a little bit later because these are not just T-shirts. These are Raceday T-shirts, and we'll get there. So summarize, Cliffy.
What?
Dakar 24. What is your takeaway? What is your thing at the moment?
My thing.
It's going through the head.
Yeah. So I mean, to sum it all up, if we're going the event, it's insane. For any person, any normal person that runs a 9 to 5 or does something as a hobby, this undertaking seems insurmountable. It's massive. Like if you ask a normal person, they'd probably fear death before trying to conquer something like that. The people that compete in Dakar, for me, on any level, on any type of sportsman, it's top level. You can look at every sport across the world and whatever they're doing, from tiddlywinks to rugby to soccer to the whole lot. this is another level. So I think like this is up there with those few people that will ever get to do it, like climbing Everest and all that sort of thing. That's how big the event is, and the fact that
I
these
think it's
people.
bigger than
No,
climbing
I think so too. I mean, yeah, but I mean, it's like up there. Like some people will just never do it and never even attempt it, and these people that compete in it, just to do it is a thing, but just to compete in it at the pace that they do, with the hours that they've put in, with the conditioning and the living circumstances and the back-to-back and the media coverage that they've given us, is next level. So I look at it and say, like, I was apprehensive coming in here on a personal note. I was like, ooh, I don't know a lot about Dakar on that. But what I can say about Dakar is a whole experience for me. Athletes on next level and super cool. Like, probably the best athletes I've interviewed and worked with, from cars to bikes and that.
And there's lessons for that for
Yeah.
lesser athletes. Some of the South African racing drivers and bike riders can learn from just being easily accessible.
And you know, the thing is, like, I think what you put out there, you get back. But just with the way that everyone's been with us, it's been next level. Like I've enjoyed it more than I ever thought I would. It's been probably the best project I've worked on, and it's from the racing to the level to everything, from dealing with the athletes and chatting to them and making time for us where there's not even signal. These folks are driving 5Ks out into the desert to go and stand on top of the roof of their bakkie to try and talk to us. Where I've been standing right next to a guy who could give me an interview and walk away. Yeah, I know.
By the way, it's not a bakkie.
I threw it out there just to ruffle your feathers. But
and tonight, podium ceremony is beckoning.
Yeah.
The whole of everybody in the world is looking for Ross Branch.
And he's talking to us. And he's energetic, and he's not trying to blow us off. We could probably have the conversation for another 2 hours, and it would just never get old, and he would just never get tired of us. And he's so impressed and happy with his result, with himself, but so grateful for the support, the well wishes, the 700 messages on his phone.
He's a team player.
So cool. And that comes back to, and it sounds soft and a cop-out, but this is how I'm feeling. I'm quite emotional right now. But throwing it back to all of you guys that have tuned in with us every night, it's been amazing because, this interactive show has been next level for me. The people that watch Dakar are as cool, if not cooler, than the people that compete in Dakar. And no matter what happens this year and how we go and how things pan out, because some people have good years and shit years and whatever else happens, we will always have this Dakar, and that's super cool for me. So I've enjoyed every moment of it, the event, from the athletes to the people that watch, to the guests that we've had, to the moments that we've had, to saying Peter 150 times. It's been amazing. I've loved it. That's my ramble. I'm done.
Good boy. Stu, sum it up. What's it been like for you? What's impressed you? What's disappointed you? What's got you excited?
Yeah, Colin, I guess, Gazoo Racing with their Hiluxes under new management, I think you can't fault them.
Yeah.
From the outside looking in, they've had an absolutely fantastic event. To me, it's clear that the car is still the best car in the world.
Yeah, without a doubt.
The Evo that they produced just before Dakar has clearly, it's produced the goods. You look at the numbers, and the numbers don't lie, but it's the best car in the world, as it has been for the last 2 years. So that's fantastic. It shows the level of cross-country or rally raid racing in South Africa, which is fantastic. And I think it's a tribute to all the guys at SVR and Hall Speed who build these cars and design them and maintain them and run them. It's fantastic. It's actually something that the country as a whole should be proud of and should be made more aware of.
Also, not just the guys at SVR Hall Speed, but all the suppliers.
Yeah,
The
indeed.
bodywork guys, Stan
right.
with the bodywork, all the machinists, the heat treaters, tourists, and everybody else who goes.
No,
into
absolutely.
it. It's a whole industry.
There is. There's a world-class industry that can support the manufacture of these cars. And again, just a step behind that, Julian and the Century team with their cars are fantastic. Redline have had a good show. NWM have perhaps had a few more dramas than they would have hoped, but still a fantastic showing. And South Racing with their South African connection is, they're still right up there and fighting for the win. So it's a great event, and it showcases all that's good about South African manufacturing and engineering, which I think is fantastic. I think as a whole, the event, as I touched on earlier, personally, it's great that Carlos managed to win it.
Yeah.
It's great that Audi managed to win it in what I think is their swan song. And it's going to be exciting as to what happens. You know, where do the Audi drivers go? Where does NASA go? You know, where Toyota obviously need a winner, which is their only shortcoming, and they didn't fall short by much. And maybe, you know, the incumbents there will be winners next year. And obviously they didn't have Henk. And, you know,
that's a big one, eh?
For
Henk
sure.
Was the experience.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago, he was the rookie.
Yeah.
You had Quintero, Marias, Brazilian champion. They come in as not as experienced as Henk.
No, and you know, Henk will be back. He'll be back
and strong.
He'll be back. He'll be back better and stronger. And I think that's very exciting from a South African point of view. But all in all, I think a very tough event, a very, very grueling event. But a fantastic test, and you know, to have the South Africans showing so well both on four wheels and on two, it's wonderful.
My take on it is, much as I dislike electric racing cars, and I don't think they can be equivalent, I've got to take my hat off to Audi, and they produced a stunning looking car with some innovative aerodynamics on it. They put together a team, and the notes I've got here, it's in big enough font I can read it without my blooming glasses on, is they put together a proper team, and they had a solid, good strategy. The guy who doesn't win a stage wins the race. This is a race not of stage wins, but of completing the course in the minimum time, and hats off to Audi, and they will go off to Formula One and learn that the piranha pool is rather large. From a South African point of view, I think Toyota Gazoo SVR Hallspeed put together a brilliant motor car. I do have to say one thing about Century Racing. They went there with a totally undercooked car, found out in the beginning that there were some issues on manufacturing, fixed it, and then delivered. And the two-wheel drive car we spoke about earlier is not dead. And the cool thing about running a two-wheel drive, compared to some of the Audi, the Toyota, and the Ford, is you don't need so many mechanicians to run it. And it's a solid, good privateer car. So to the whole Century, Julian Hardy, take my hat off to them. Ford, the relationship with how that goes forward. Did you see the filter come down? It was quite impressive. I got that right. How the Fords continue will be very, very interesting to see. And next year, Seth Quintero, I think, and Lucas Moraes will be proper contenders for the lead. Because no doubt, Glenn is still there until the end of next year's Dakar, and he is the technical genius of the world in cross-country rally raid racing, and I think they'll be good. So that's our summary of the race. I've got more.
Yeah, I've got questions, but I wanna throw one back to you while I just skim through again, because there's a lot of guys congratulatory messages and that sort of thing. But I'm trying to skim through for some questions. But I've got a question for you guys. In the car categories, because that's obviously what you covered, we've gone through rider of the Dakar or driver of the Dakar and who's your hero and that sort of thing. Who had the failure to launch? Who wins your failure to launch prize? Who had the worst Dakar?
Nessa Al-Attiyah.
Is that it? Hey? It's as simple as that.
End of discussion.
Yeah. So mine,
in my opinion,
yeah,
Stu?
yeah. Sure. I mean, you can throw it back to a manufacturer if you want to, because I mean, there were some guys that had some manufacturing issues.
Shall I take it one step higher than that?
I mean, we don't have to apologize tomorrow, so it's fine. I'm gonna throw mine out. For manufacturer, wooden spoon or failure to launch, Cove.
Yeah.
Shocker at the border, and then they just struggled the whole way through. And then Mason Klein tried and just never got there. And then Ryder is for me is Sharana. He takes the prologue, you think this is the guy, and then next stage is out, and it's like now he's got to wait to hold that car, sit on the sidelines, watch everyone else race, and then wait for next year. So for me, he gets my failure to launch, and then Cove with all their drama.
Stuart, you can sit this round out because I know that you've got sensitivities. I have none. And if you put it that way, a failure to launch, without a doubt.
And action.
Mr. Richards,
There we
your
go.
pro-drive team.
Didn't even take a lot, eh?
Sorry for you, but your car sucks. Come to South Africa. Come and speak to some of the clever people who build and manufacture these cars. Come and race here just for 6 months. And I think you'll save yourself a truck ton of euros and it'll work. Or you could just go straight to Stuart. He'll fix all your problems in a short time and you will be faster. It will save you tons of money and you'll have a lot more fun and happy drivers. That's
Are you
it.
done?
Right.
Okay.
So the shirt. Notice how he just kept dead quiet. So the shirt. Merch is open. Hashtag DBAC. It's a movement that Raceday started some year ago or longer. There were some people who were... Hold on. So we came up with the idea, hashtag DBAC.
When it says we, I have nothing to do with
I
this.
Googled it, and I was astounded at the 7 million responses I had to hashtag DBAC. So we decided that this was a good move, and you'll notice that every night we close off our show with Be Nice, Be Lacquer. And this is the corollary of that. Right, questions.
There was
The time
one.
is ticking, the beer's getting warm.
Yeah. Here's a good one. Out of interest from Johan Etzebeth, who had the longest Dakar race and how many hours did they race? Okay, your laptop's not here. Research department, go. How's this one? Hurts my feelings.
I'll tell you what,
Hurts my feelings a little
we
bit.
don't know the answer to that question. We'll come back to you in 12 months.
Okay.
I think it's fair to say, though, that Stuart Gregory got value for money.
Yeah, that's how I feel when I play golf. Is that they even like, oh, but I did it in 70 shots and I did it in 105. I played more shots, I win. It's the same thing. He got his hours worth,
Yeah.
but
he
but
certainly
he
did.
persevered. Hey? And
No,
the-
he
and there's-
is absolutely remarkable.
and there's a few people
in
that
day 3 he was already broke,
yeah.
and he persevered.
But
That is spirit.
I reckon if you look at him now, he's probably the same amount of broken as what he was in day 3. Like
Agreed.
duct tape, bubble gum, hopes and dreams, and away you go.
Tyrant,
Yeah. Overall biker of the race for me is Stuart Gregory, original competitors on
Yeah.
machines. That's from Penny D'Souza. This one hurts my feelings. Thanks, Colin and Biker Dude. Sculpt Glitter, I have a name, okay? Dakar coverage was great to watch with you guys. Thanks for the great show. Here's another one. What will happen with the 3 Audis now after the race? Do some rich Arabs buy it and put them in their showroom? Quite possible.
No doubt one will go to the Smithsonian, that museum in America. One will go to the Audi Museum, and the other one will go on a roadshow.
Yeah, probably. And
Because I don't think they're coming back next year. They've got to focus on taking a slowest Formula One team and making them a little bit faster.
right.
Well, assuming the rumours aren't correct, and they haven't already decided not to do that.
Well,
So, but anyway, that's
Yeah.
beside the point.
Penny D'Souza, Jens, the boss man of SVR Hall Speed, is watching the show. Super chuffed for the team's performance. Have you
Shamir
offended
and
anyone?
Glyn, I've got your titles right. Thank you very much for watching, and congratulations on an unbelievable show next year.
Moving on, Francois Bosi Loepscher. Yeah, Cliffy, they ride the dirt. That's why they're so cool, not tar. I feel like that's also a dig at me. We go 2 weeks and now people are having a go at me. I'm not
It's
coming
about
back.
bloody
I'm like
time, I've
Adi.
got used to.
I'm not coming back next year.
What, are you going to throw your toys as
I'm
well?
gonna throw my toys. Let me just skim through. Here's another one, Colin. What about our great man in 7, France Moore?
Jean Moore.
No, France Moore is the guy asking the question. What about our great man in 7? Question mark.
You're going to have to explain a little bit, Francois. I didn't get that. Guy and Brett were 6.
Yeah, I'm just trying skimming through here. Here we go. What will the driver lineup look like next year for the TGR in terms of South African drivers?
Simple, NFI. We have to wait and see.
And then so I think it was Mohammed Chaudhry asked, "Are you covering Rally Raid?" Because he's in the UK. And
Yeah,
he wants to
we
get to-
are. The plan is we have quite an exciting plan with Raceday that we're going to go to the nationals and the regionals and cover Rally Raid and do some stuff and do it faster and better and bigger.
Yeah, we try. Yeah, I think that's If you guesstimate how much more would the Audi team have spent on 3 cars to get them to the end versus the TGR5 car team?
Stuart, you're the best place.
10 times.
At least in
Is
Europe.
that it,
Yeah. The best value for money operation in cross-country racing in the world, bar none, is Toyota Gazoo Racing SVR All Speed. They achieve on a tenth of the budget what others don't achieve.
Yeah, I think you're just saying that now because you know
No,
the
no.
boss is working and
No,
you don't want to
I'll
have to
say
apologize to them.
I've said things to their faces, and
other than that, everyone's just sort of signed in. Everyone's
right, we're waffling.
Yeah,
It's getting close to beer time, so I just want to show you this shirt. It's not just a T-shirt. It's got a Raceday thingy on the back, so people know where you got it from. It's got a tape here, like the butts in the gym wear these things, when they flex in 4-ways and they go to fart club.
you know a lot
so it
about
doesn't
the
stretch.
flexing, eh?
Yeah, they flex. It's total, the quality, it's just like, oh, it's yummy.
Don't
and of
buy
course-
that shirt.
Of course, it's got that on the front, and then on the side, observe this.
That's super cool.
You have a number. So the first 100 shirts are numbered. We'll know who you are, and we can recognize you. So get your orders in now and get it. It's. I was got to say to Sean at Steel Monkey, thank you for a frickin' amazing shirt. Stuart, we are changing the name of our hat because we have a hat that is becoming the Stuart, the quality. Stuart, just feel this. Hey?
I mean, he just rubbed it on his face.
No, it's
whatever you do, wash your arm. I'm out. Whatever you
No,
do,
it's
wash your
nice.
hands, please, Stuart.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 45. All right. Thanks, Stuart, for your input on our clothing. We've missed, before we go, and I know it's beer time, catering tonight.
Oh, I thought you were gonna forget. Well played. It's because you catered, eh?
No, we had our catering manager cater. I was merely the executive chef.
I see.
My sous chef wasn't there. Stuart, what did you think of supper tonight?
It was delicious. Thank you very much, Colin.
Scale of 1 to 10?
Certainly in the 80%, if not creeping up from that a bit.
Does it beat a Burger King?
I think hands down.
You took a long time to
Good
answer. eh?
man, good man. Cliffy?
Sure. Colin, I'd say solid effort. Solid effort. I enjoyed the flavor toasted buns.
I'm hearing a
'Cause-
butt coming in.
Yeah, no, because I mean, we always thought Henk had the best buns in the studio, but I think yours are
His
better.
buns are all right, but when I toast my buns,
Yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go 8.8.
that's a winner!
I think Henk still got it, because we remember at the beginning, we were just throwing out 9s willy-nilly.
No, but we recalibrated. So the food was absolutely brilliant. We still have a race day challenge, and we shall start the race day challenge with anybody at our next show. You're more than welcome. Mark Berger, you chickened out. You had a proper, you flapped the gums.
I mean-
you didn't arrive. You didn't pitch. You didn't show what you got. In order to deliver, you've got to enter the race and then pitch up at the start line. So anybody.
Can I finish that sentence? Mark Burger.
On that note, buy the T-shirt and just be lacquer and all the rest of it. And to all of you who've watched, who've contributed, who've enlightened us, thank you very much. The biggest thanks I have is to everybody who we spoke to in Saudi and in South Africa remotely. Thank you. You have no idea how much we appreciate you taking our calls, taking time out from your schedules and talking to us. It means a fuck ton. Thank you very, very much. I totally appreciate it. And to all of you who watched, who engaged, it's been a blast.
Yeah, it has.
But wait, we're not finished, because the rest of the season in South African Rally Raid is coming. It's going to be special. To all those who came to join us in the studio, especially Stuart, we have a surprise. At the end, we have a surprise. Fantasy idea. So, Stu, have a look at the pictures now. There you will see a machine. A beautiful machine. It's called a Challenger. Number 188. Built to the current Challenger rules with the latest gearbox from Sadev. It's a Jimny. Do you think this is possible to do in South Africa and go and race it at Dakar?
Yeah, Colin, I think it is possible. I think, as we discussed earlier, the technical expertise exists, and we have the most unbelievable proving ground. So, in terms of wherewithal from an engineering and manufacturing point of view, and the test stages, absolutely, it's doable.
So, what do you guys think? Would you build it for us, Stu? There's too much hesitation.
No, not at all. But as the original muddy racing prostitutes, will do anything for money.
That's the most honest answer.
And you do it well. And we need Achim to design the frickin' thing. Achim, if you're watching, you need to come back from Cape Town and focus on this. What do you guys think? We need a team of drivers. We're going to pick this up in 2 weeks' time. Because in 2 weeks' time, we start with a new show on Raceday. It's going to be every 2 weeks. We're going to pick up our Challenger vehicle for Dakar in 2 weeks' time. Thank you all for watching. To the most magnificent, supportive, kind and helpful technical team. They sit there behind the glass. Some of them just watch signals. Some of them press buttons. Others do all sorts of things.
Some of them also listen to me say, Peter, 500 times in a day.
To Henk and Peter and to our live audience tonight, thank you so much for being with us. Without you guys, it would not have been possible. This is the end of Dakar 2024 on Raceday. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back. Be nice, be kind, and remember, be lekker.
Finger guns, go, last time.